Hey guys, it's Lauren. If you need help with any writing tips or refilling your creative well, you come to the right place. I'm a blind author and co-author of Hunted: The Mortal Kiss with Nicole. So earlier this month, writer Sam Wicker hosted a live stream with Annual, Mr. Blandis, herself, Emma Maggie Ward. I think that's it. Alright, there's been so many people have been interested in it because it's fun to create a character and then write a story focusing around that character. So during their live stream, they rolled various dice used in Dungeons and Dragons to fill out the character name and characteristics of the character, such as their appearance, their flaws, and their talents. And then later on in the live stream, they were having so much fun with what they were doing, they ended up creating the world around the character to exist in. So they made up a name and a tavern, which is part of where my story is going to take place, and just various little miscellaneous items that you would want to know for a story or a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. And even though I wasn't able to attend the live stream on camera, I was in the chat, I still took it upon myself to roll the dice and create a character of my own. And so did Nicole, because A, we love D&D, and 2, it's just a fun way to get your creative juices flowing.
And Laura also needed me to roll dice for her since she can't read Braille.
Okay, that's true. So, I can't really see regular dice, and it was Jason
Goldsmith
created accessible Braille dice that you can use for Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, I knew it was for your LARP, but
pretty much any tabletop game that'll toss for 20-sided dice or smaller. And he made it using a free printer, so yay.
Yeah. Find a way to put your big toy to accessible use.
Well, here's a funny story though. So a friend of theirs it was his, and he asked Jason and Rachel he'd store it at their house, and he never came back for it. So now it's theirs.
But aren't 3D printers expensive?
Oh yeah. But the only downside is that you have to leave it in the garage because when you use it, it has a lot of fumes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did he ever say how long it took him to do the dice?
He said it took about a week because on the dice he had to do more than one because it'd be cut off or it wouldn't look pretty.
Yeah.
And also he had to figure out what would be the best way to make it out of. I have two 20 die. One is the one you use for all the dice. The other one's nothing but metal. It's heavy.
So, paperweight.
Oh yeah.
Or in a cold case, a secret weapon. You can check at people.
But yeah, I heard one too. I will be doing my own video for my story.
Yay!
So for this part, I'm taking over since we tried having the phone read for Lauren, and oh god, I just fell off my chair laughing so hard how many mistakes I had. So this is her piece, but I'm just reading it for her. That way it's easier for her. Right, Lauren?
Yay!
Water trickled in the depths of a cave as a figure trod through the entrance. Orange flames expelled from her lips, touching on the top of a branch in her hands. As orange light filled the dark cavern, her blue eyes swept the cave, smirking at seeing the sleeping bed situated next to a fire pit. She dropped the torch into the center of the pit, drive away the damp interior. I was expecting to run into Delilah here. Maybe she's in town, she mused with a frown. Her stomach rumbled. Reaching inside one of the bags, she extracted a leather pouch filled with coins, dropping it into the pocket of her black halter dress. She scurried out of the cave, following the winding dirt path that faced the mouth of a grassy hilltop. At the bottom of the hilltop, a gravel trail marked the entrance of Kaba Park, named after the town's mayor and her uncle. Twinkling white lights were strung along lampposts, lighting the path for weary travelers. A flashing sign caught her eye, flapping in the gentle breeze. It was tethered to a street lamp with red and gold ribbons. Come one, come all, to witness the marvelous Master D's Maplots? Maplag?
Yeah, I have no idea how to say the name.
Mystical creature!
Menagerie. God.
Menagerie, thank you. She rolled her eyes, tearing the flyer free. Leave it to Uncle Amarin?
Sure.
To lure in a traveling circus to town. Is this to impress me? She thought, tucking a strand of her purple hair out of her face. The sound of Celtic music reached her ears as she approached a red brick two-story tavern. A stuffy, short man with a long black beard reaching his knees stood in front of the entrance, handing out flyers. Nina, you made it, he explained, wrapping one arm around her hips in a tight embrace, crumpling the papers in his hands. She flashed him a broad smile, patting his shoulder. Yeah. Gerald, I'd come here every evening, but your enthusiasm is flattering. Is Delilah here? She asked as he nodded, pressing a flyer into her hands. Once he released her, taking a step to the side. Her heels clipped on the wooden floor as she pushed past patrons, going up a wide staircase where another bar was located. She waved to the woman behind the bar as she slid into a bar stool. The barmaid placed the tumbler glass of water on top of the flyer with a drink. Welcome back, Miss Taldor. What can I get you? The barmaid inquired. A glass of Southern ale and some chili nachos, she answered, jumping into her seat, feeling as a hand tugged on the French braid. Swirling around in her chair, she rolled her eyes, patting the empty stool beside her. Hi, Delilah. You look pretty. I hope you're not all dolled up on my account, she teased, studying the black velvet strapless dress that framed her skinny figure, as her long silver hair swept up in a bun. She drawn her manicured fingers on the bar, the white lilies matching the numerous white flowers tattooed over her black skin. Delilah laughed, taking the offered seat, resting her ankles on the back of the chair. Don't flatter yourself. I had a target who was at a gala, so I had to dress the part. Which reminds me, I have your payment. She teased,
Gimme.
reaching into her bag, pulling out a small bag full of coins. Nina clapped her hands in glee, reaching for the bag. Registering her friend's words, she pouted. You went to a party without me? She whined, as the barmaid placed a glass of water in front of Delilah. Not a party, it was work. You know I would bring you along for a distraction. This place was a room of horrors, and I curse my creator for sending me there. Sometimes I think you're the lucky one. Delilah grumbled, ordering a fairy brain shooter. Nina arched an eyebrow, perplexed by Delilah's answer. As usual, you're talking riddles, she droned, as the platter of nachos arrived. She paid for their things before putting the bag in her pocket. Remind me again of how I'm the lucky one? She demanded, twirling the ice around her glass before taking a sip. You are not bound to a greedy bastard who finds enjoyment in tormenting his employees. You usually get a contract and to let the soul, no big deal. This time, he sent me to a factory creating Faye. You know how I became this, she muttered, flicking a hand towards herself. Nina's eyes widened and shot, patting her friend's hand. I am bound just to a nicer boss, she protests, turning her right palm over, revealing the fleur de lis branded against her skin. She placed some of the nachos on a plate, pushing it towards Delilah. I say we go back there and burn the place to the ground, she explained, finishing her glass, slamming her fist on the bar excitedly. Delilah consumed the sweet pink liquid in one sip and ordered another. What makes you think it's still standing? I may lack fire, but I imagine it can still destroy things when I'm angry, she teased, putting out the plate, lost in thought. Nina rested her chin in her hands as her elbows rested on the bar. Please, do tell, what chaos did you wreck? I could use the distraction from this, she demanded, taking a flyer from the bar and handing it to Delilah. What's wrong with a circus? She asked, arching an eyebrow and confusion. Nina waited for the barmaid to refill her drink before taking a sip. wants me to go with them and perform. She protests, drenching in disgust. I'm sorry, but why is that a bad thing? I thought you enjoyed setting things on fire. Or am I missing something? Eli inquired, taking another shot. Nina pushed her empty plate aside. You know I do. I only agreed to come back to this town at a request to Marlena, thank you. To find her friend. As honor bound, I can't get sidetracked with a traveling circus, she replied, picking food off Delilah's plate. Rumor has it there's a black market trading dragon eggs through the tavern, but no one seems to know anything. She added, catching the
gal.
The barmaid shot in her direction, refilling her water glass. Delilah rose to her feet as the glamour fluttered as blue mist rolled around her. The dress morphed into a black backless tunic, black mini-skirt, and black leggings as a black self hung around her waist, containing a black dagger encrusted in gold. Blue and white butterfly wings protruded out from her shoulders. I have the location, shall we? She asked, extending her hand out to Nina. Really? All black?
Yeah. Stealth mode.
Nina nodded, climbing to her feet, knocking back her bar stool. They descended the stairs to the main floor and exited through the front door. Delilah guided them to the back of the tavern to where a beefy man was guarding a cellar.
Access denied!
Delilah smirked, seeing the man blocking their path. How cute. Would you prefer a quick death, your soul removed and torn to shreds, or do the smart thing and step aside? She asked, clutching the dagger in one hand. Nina laughed, summoning a ball of flames in her hands. How about being burned alive? I'll go with the less painless option, she offered as the man ignored them, pulling out a pack of cigarettes from his pocket, bringing one to his lips, and lighting it. He blew smoke at them, refusing to answer. Delilah waved at the smoke in disgust, taking a step back, hearing Nina squeal in delight. Cupping her hands together as a huge orb of flames gathered in her hands, hurling it at the man. Nina blinked, seeing that the man was unharmed. He patted his clothes, putting out the flames. Delilah lunged at him, stabbing him in the heart, twisting before pulling free as a white mist clung to the blade. I hate this part of the job. Looks like we got a fractured soul, she remarked, blowing on the blade, watching the strands unravel, knowing the man would be trapped in the spiritual plane. Nina tipped the limp body aside and reached for the handle to the latch. With a grunt, she pulled it up, revealing a metal staircase ascending below. She summoned a small orb of fire in her palm before descending the staircase. See you down there. Please don't burn the building down while we're inside, Delilah warned as blue smoke appeared, forming a portal. She stepped through it, disappearing once the blue mist had cleared. That only happened one time, Nina protests, pulling the latch shut, letting the orange light illuminate her path. As she neared the landing, she heard a chorus of voices shouting in a foreign language. Nina ducked, hearing a dagger fly towards her. The orb of flames flew at another man, striking him in the face. She flinched, hearing their sins sizzle as they dropped to the floor, cradling their face. Another figure rushed towards her, knocking the wind out of her as her
Need a break?
No, it was a typo. As her back slammed against the wall. Nina wrapped her fingers around her throat, pulling them down towards the wooden floor. Placing her knees into their chests, a scream tore out their lungs as she channeled fire through her fingers. Where is the shipment of grenades? She demanded, moving her hands to grab his chin, jerking it up to meet her gaze. Her eyes glowed white before closing her eyes, feeling blood trail down her cheeks. The man lay still, babbling quotes from the Bible in French. Nina, we're too late. They're not here, Delilah noted, resting a hand on Nina's shoulder. The room was full of men, much like the brute guarding this place. She added, extending her hand to Nina, helping her to her feet. I tasted their souls were fed to your blade, Nina asked, accepting the offered hand, climbing to her feet. Wiping the blood from her face with the hem of her dress. They tried to seal me in a circle, Delilah groaned, leaning against the nearby doorway. Nina nodded, lashing out at the prone body, striking the man's stall, rendering him unconscious. One of them must have worked with Faye before to know how to trap one, she noted, fainting back to when they had met. Well, the Waynes are a good getaway, she teased, opening a portal. The blue mist formed a portal as they both stepped through it, returning to their hideout.
Thank you, Nikki, for reading it.
That was a long piece.
Yeah, and like after editing it and trimming it, there are like 3,000 words cut from it. It's not my fault I'm an overwriter, okay?
Whatever you say.
Man, you should have seen how hard it was to get the flash fiction piece under the word count for the contest for UGL. Alright. And nope. Gotta cut some more. And nope. I cut 5 pages.
Getting closer.
Which reminds me, you still have to submit a poem for the contest.
Yeah.
But yes, I will post a link to that video in the description down below. But the Critique Group Live through Barrett Lawyer's channel is hosting a flash fiction and poetry contest until the second Thursday of July. Yeah, I remembered it. This was fun. I cannot wait for Nicole to write and read her piece. That's kind of compliment some of the beats that were mentioned in mine. And, jeez, that's scary. Whoever crosses their path.
Yeah, you have a Reaper Fae and a demon.
A fire-breathing demon.
Yeah, there's nothing scary about that.
Nope. But the only downside is, like, I would want to, like, keep writing, like, little entries for this. This was fun.
I do too. Like I said, my pieces just show how she got turned to Reaper and then showing how they first met.
Yeah, I think that's why Sam wants to keep doing this once a month. And right now the plan is to do it, I believe, the last Sunday of each month.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yay, more creativity! So, I hope you guys like this. As always, trying to find a way to be creative today, and I'll see you next video.